They say you took down that man of war all alone. Perhaps Lafayette did not exaggerate when he spoke of your abilities. As promised, my ships are yours to command. What do you require?
5 of them must enter New York's harbor flying British flags.
Wait. I thought you might need some pirates killed or goods transported, and instead, you asked for us to, what, shell New York?
No. Of course not.
Ah.
Only part of it.
Explain yourself.
I mean to infiltrate Fort George, but it is too well guarded. Cannon fire will breach its walls and scatter its guards.
And a ship that flies the French flag could never get near it.
You understand, then?
Not at all. But a promise is a promise, even when made to a lunatic.
I will light a signal fire when it is time for you to attack.
Vous l'avez entendu, récupérez leurs drapeaux qu'on puisse les accrocher. Allez, vite!
All right. Battle of the Chesapeake. I did quite poorly in the Battle of the Chesapeake. Go figure. Go figure.
Hello, Connor. Welcome back.
Is everything in place?
Oui, Lafayette waits for you inside the tunnel beneath the city.
There we go.
Connor. This tunnel will take you into the military district.
And the Admiral?
He waits for you to light this signal. And then the strike begins.
And we will be there as well.
I mean, undetected on the way to signal fire. Oh. Except guys are just spawning in here. Okay, go like that, huh? Oh, come on, this guy was like... What the hell, man? That was so bullshit. I didn't even press up to get, like... Game has some bullshit stuff about it, man. Because I was like hiding in there, and then suddenly Connor just with smallest press of the button, and Connor's like, "Oh, I'm gonna jump right out in front of this guy." Yep. That's Nate Charles Lee.
The fort.
to stay away from the guards.
Idiots. He's like, let me jump right down in front of the cannon fire.
Where are you, Charles?
Oh, let's make ourselves known, huh?
Come now. You cannot hope to match me, Connor. With all your skills, you are still but a boy, with so much left to learn. Give me Lee! Impossible. He is the promise of a better future. The sheep need a shepherd.
He has been dismissed and censured. He can do nothing for you now.
A temporary setback. He will be restored. You act as though you have...
Love how I can't use my other weapons. I could literally just like hit this guy with the thing and then... What the frick? I can't do anything here? What the hell's going on? Oh, come on! Have to wait until there's a freaking cutscene to hit him? Oh, this is such a bullshit fight. Come on. Whoever designed this game was freaking brain dead. I swear to God, what a stupid ass fight.
You act as though you have some right to judge. To declare me and mine wrong. And yet everything I've shown you, all I've said and done, should clearly demonstrate otherwise. Wait. We did not support the crown. We worked.
Oh, what the hell's going on?
Surrender, and I will spare you.
Brave words from a man about to die.
You fare no better.
Even when your kind appears to triumph, still we rise again. And do you know why? It's because the Order is born of a realization. We require no creed, no indoctrination by desperate old men. All we need is that the world be as it is. And this is why the Templars will never be destroyed.
After all that, he made the biggest mistake ever. Like, he knows I'm an assassin and I've got a hidden blade. Because he's got one too.
Don't think I have any intention of caressing your cheek and saying I was wrong. I will not weep and wonder what might have been. I'm sure you understand. Still, I'm proud of you in a way. You've shown great conviction, strength, courage. All noble qualities. I should have killed you long ago.
We've got a problem. Haytham doesn't have the amulet anymore.
But the temple's still sending data. There must be more to this story.
Only one
Okay. I mean, that was not a very good showdown with anything, with your father or anything like that. That's kind of very rough. Feels very rushed and
My father is dead. Charles Lee now leads the Templar Order in his place. I see now why ours is an eternal war. For each piece taken from the board, another is placed upon it. Back and forth we go. Across the world. Across the ages. Some days mine feels an impossible task. But I cannot afford to be consumed with doubt. The people need me. Now more than ever. I must stop the Templars. I will kill Charles Lee.
okay. I mean, at this point, you don't have the key, so what do you? I mean.
We gather today to remember a man of peerless vision who sought to change the world. And change the world he did. Look around. Even now the British prepare to retreat. Their spirits broken. Their forces splintered. The Patriot leadership shall soon follow. Either into our service or into the ground. And then, my friend, he sent me away. That day, at Fort George. He feared for my safety. I should have stayed. He said there was no danger.
He was wrong.
I will kill you, Connor. This I swear. Not here, though. Not today. No. First I'll destroy all you hold dear. I'll burn that homestead of yours to the ground and roast the severed heads of your precious founding fathers in its flames. And when I've finished with them, all the rest will burn as well. Your merry band of assassins, the human refuse that lives on your land, your village and its people, all of it, gone.
You can try, Charles. But as with all your schemes, this too will end in failure.
Get him on his feet. He will wait. He will watch. And then, when he's seen all his life's work brought to ruin, only then will I allow him to die. Take him away.
That was our plan, just walk up to him.
Shame we have to keep you.
Where are all my weapons at? are my weapons at? I actually came unarmed. And here we go, Assassin's Tomahawk. I'm like, what the frig, man? I should be unarmed going up against all these guys. Oh, this freaking guy.
Where is Charles Lee gone?
The harbor. To catch a ferry.
Can't believe we walked in there and without just like that. Like, what the frig, man? Like, this ending is just like I knew going into this that the character of Connor is just stupid. But like, this ending is so stupid. What? Okay, where is my... You got your damn weapon. I have it selected on the freaking wheel, for crying out loud. What the frig is going on here? Why does this keep resetting? God damn it, how many times do I have to say use your damn weapons? He's still not using it. Like, what do I have to do to get... It's so stupid. This is so freaking stupid. Oh my god, Connor, use your goddamn weapons. Like, what the frig? You got all these damn weapons and you're gonna fight them hand to hand? What the hell is wrong with this game? There, now you got your tomahawk out. Like, why did that take so long? I literally haven't done anything except keep clicking the button here. And he's finally taking a tomahawk out. Like a goofball. My god, how many freaking times do you have to hit this bastard? Come the frig on. You son of a bitch. Come on. Good God, man. This is dumb. The combat in this game is the worst. Now it's eavesdrop on the captain. Like how I climbed all over this, now it's suddenly like, whoop, eavesdrop.
You believe incorrectly. They're sick and weak. We're looking to build an army, not fill an almshouse.
It would take months to get them into fighting shape. We don't have the time.
No, please. We'll do anything you want. Anything. Only take us with you.
Quiet, well. Your merchandise is useless to us.
Perhaps we should discuss this back in my cabin.
Now up there.
I'm sorry for your disappointment.
As you should be. For us to have come all this way for nothing. Tell me now why I shouldn't have you...
No, stop, stay.
No need to be rash. Only give me a little more time. I'll scour the other ships if I must. I'm certain there are prisoners who will meet your needs. Very well. You have 2 days. Thank you.
Present yourself to the Green Dragon Tavern in Boston with the men you've chosen. We shall meet you there along with our master.
Kill the Jersey's captain without getting into an open conflict. What's he gonna do? Just walk all over the freaking place? Walk all the way back the way. Okay. Oh, come on. This fucking game is so stupid with its AI. Like, they can see everything, and then they can't see nothing. I can't imagine anyone who's played this game has gone for all the optional objectives, because the game is so janky that I don't think it's even possible to get them.
Need something, darling?
No.
Rude.
Can I help you?
You know you can.
Pardon? Oh! Jesus.
I do not like having my time wasted.
Stop that! Oh, don't make me call the guards.
Make a sound and you die.
What do you want? He's in the harbor, at the Long Pier, most likely. We heard what happened at the parade. Charles got all nervous, said he was leaving the country. I thought he was overreacting. He's not. No!
Thank you.
Okay, find Lee near the harbor. There you go. Have to go chase him down now, right? Game loves its chase sequences. Come on. Do not shove anyone during a chase? Yeah, right. Take any fire damage. What the frig? Yeah, right. Don't take any fire damage. This is... Oh, some of these maps are just... They boggle the mind. They just boggle the mind. There goes the performance again. Connor, what the hell are you doing? Why can't you make any jumps here? The worst assassin ever. Can't jump. You can't fight.
Why do you persist? You put us down, we rise again. You end one plot, we forge another. You try so hard, but it always ends the same. Those who know you think you mad, and this is why. Even those men you sought to save have turned their backs on you. Yet you fight. You resist. Why?
Because no one else will.
Another one of these fights where I can't do anything. The harbor master. Okay. I can't. Oh man, this is so. They really are dragging this crap out here. We'll get there in about 90 years.
Rough night, was it? He headed inland. Took a ferry up the Charles River.
I will need passage as well.
Of course.
How does this guy keep getting away from us? Seriously, how many times do you have to kill somebody before they stay dead? Like how many times? Like how many times are you gonna pull this same thing? Oh, you only just wounded him. Oh, you're gonna have to chase him now over here. Now you gotta chase him over there. Now you gotta chase him over. It's like they're just dragging it out to the most extreme lengths they can possibly drag it out to. Enemy convoy leaving. He's just sitting there all bloody, huh? Spit it out. Come on. I've never wanted to skip cutscenes more in my life here.
why would they leave this behind?
You just left the apple behind in a box? Well, that doesn't make any sense. Man, they're really stretching here.
Long have we waited for you to return. You have done as we asked. You have succeeded.
No, I have failed. My people are gone. Chased out by those who I thought would protect them.
It is a trade, a sacrifice, and not in vain. For you have found it.
This?
Now you must hide it, where none shall think to look, and then in time, what once was, shall be again.
I do not understand.
Nor need you. Only do as we ask. Then, you may do as you wish.
But what of my people?
You have saved this place, as was your people's purpose, and that matters most.
It is not enough.
It will never be enough. You strive for that which does not exist. Still, you have made a difference, and you will do so again. Remember, you must hide the amulet where none might find it.
That really wasn't the apple? What? Is when can the apple not... Just a projection of an apple. Okay. I guess. I mean, we're like really stretching it now. Gonna bury it with probably gonna bury it with Achilles, right? Connor Davenport. It was just an empty grave with his alter ego on it. Out near Boston.
I know where the key is. Then let's go.
Oh no, it said Achilles Davenport. I thought it said Connor for some reason. Oh, it does. Yeah, Connor Davenport. Yeah. Why are his hands bloody?
Guess this is it.
We're right behind you.
This is weird. Oh, this is... I guess that was just a bad texture there.
Moment of truth.
Yes. Come. Here, at last. You know our story now. Of how we tried. Of how we failed. All our hopes extinguished. Save one. Your touch. A spark. A spark to save the world.
Wait! Do not touch the pedestal.
Minerva?
You. But how? You left. You destroyed the device.
Did you think there was only one?
What the hell is going on here?
You must not free her.
Free her?
Juno dwells within these walls, awaiting release.
Yeah.
I will explain. While we worked to save the world, she sought instead to conquer it. She used our machines to set her plans in motion. Divination through numbers. There is a pattern to existence. To comprehend the calculations is to tame time. This was my focus. And so I built the eye to aid us. But she turned it towards her own ends. When we discovered her treachery, we put a stop to it. And then we left. But first we called to you, that you might try again. We thought it would be safe with her gone. Now I see we were deceived. She survived, she endured, and then she began to work. For centuries, Tinia and I walked the world, hoping to rekindle the spark of civilization. We shared what we knew as best we could. We were not the only ones, but for all the power we wrought, still death would claim us. But before it did, I would have one last look to know if we had succeeded.
That's how you're here now?
I had hoped you might find this place and finish our work. But it is too late. You and the Templars have squabbled over our refuse. You have wasted centuries, and so you have lost your chance. You cannot hope to stop the end now, Desmond. Only to survive.
She's lying! Only touch the pedestal and the world will be saved.
Better the world burn than she be loosed upon it.
Is that so? Show him then.
But he will not understand. It is complicated. It is...
Show me.
If you heed Minerva, the sun will have its way. The ground will crack and spit fire into the skies. All the world will burn. But this does not end the world, merely heralds its arrival. Darkness follows. Then you emerge, resolving to lay a foundation that such a tragedy does not befall the world again. You will become a symbol to those who survive. Hope, knowledge, determination. You will inspire them to rebuild, to thrive once more. And as the world heals, so too will humanity. But you are just a man, frail and mortal. You pass from the world, leaving behind only a memory. A legacy. You will be remembered first as a hero, later as a legend, and in time, as a god. It is the cruelest fate, to have written words that meant well, and see them made wicked and unwise. What was meant to encourage life, used instead to justify taking it. And so now you see that what was shall be again. So tell me, how is this better? She would sacrifice you, sacrifice the world, for no other reason than to deny me vindication.
They will enslave your kind, Desmond. Is this not why you fight? Is this not why you came here? To ensure more than just your race's future, but its freedom?
What future? What freedom? Billions dead and the whole cycle begun anew? This world has known nothing but heartache and horror since we left it.
Our gift to them, and you'd see it all returned.
Enough!
You must not do this.
Whatever Juno's planning, however terrible it might seem today, we'll find a way to stop it. But the alternative, what you want, there's no hope there.
If you free her, you'll be destroyed.
It will happen in an instant. There will be no pain.
You mustn't.
It's done, Minerva. The decision's made.
Then the consequences of this mistake are yours to live and die with.
You need to go. All of you. Now. Get as far away from here as you can.
Come with us. We'll find another way.
There isn't time. Son. You know it's true. It's already started. I need to do this now. So go. Go!
No pain, huh?
It's some sort of global aurora borealis. Never seen anything like this before. Eyewitnesses describe electrical storms and erratic displays of unusual weather. Residents are being asked to remain inside and wait for geological surveys are now reporting seismic activity throughout the Ring of Fire. Northeastern Canada is said to be experiencing the largest on record. Satellites and transformers are failing as the flare increases in intensity. Worldwide reports of blackouts seems to be receding. Residual seismic and volcanic activity is being reported, but nothing approaching earlier levels. Obviously, it'll be a while before experts are able to assess the full extent of the damage caused by today's event. But it appears the worst is behind us. We'll be sure to bring you more as this story develops.
It is done. The world is saved. You played your part well, Desmond. But now it's time that I played mine.
Okay. That was a weird ending. I kind of see what they were going for there. They had an aurora borealis. Basically, they increased the magnetic protection, I guess. Caused a little bit of seismic stuff, but generally everybody was saved and the world was saved from the deadly flare that was coming. So I get that part. So I can understand that. Juno and Minerva, though, that was interesting. I mean, that was an interesting twist, I guess. Hard to really pin down where they were going to go with that, but I think that's so. Generally speaking, the parts of this game outside the Animus were actually really good. I actually enjoyed them quite a bit. Trying to wind your way around in that area there was kind of weird. Like the map is not that friendly to get around in, but it otherwise served its purpose. And the maps where you actually go out looking for the power things were fantastic. Like going through that like UFC fighting ring and all that stuff, and through the train station, all that stuff. That was really cool. I think probably that's the best part of the game, was just the things going on outside of the anime. I think probably the most developed character was Connor's father, Haythorn, whatever his name was, Haythorn, whatever. And I really, honestly, I think he really should have been the main character, and there should have been like a redemption arc that he followed or something, because Connor as the main character was the worst. He you know, what went from sort of getting like sequence 9 was probably the most tolerable that Connor was throughout the entire game, right? Like sequence 9 was actually pretty good. Like he was starting to sort of see the world differently. He was starting to grow as a character, and then immediately in sequence 10 they took all that away, and just turned him back into a whiny little crybaby who, you know, refuses to see the world for what is there. And it's a real shame. The other thing is too, the game, I mean, it suffers from the same thing that Assassin's Creed 2 did at the very beginning, which is it was super slow and super mundane. You know, the game, there were segments that were just absolutely dragged out. Like that last sequence 12, was a good example of them just dragging it out well beyond anything that mattered. And what kills me is, you know, right before that in sequence 11, I think pretty much the entirety of sequence 11 was just us killing our father, right? And it was very anticlimactic. It's like, this is, you know, there should have been some impact there, and there was nothing. There was no impact. It was a stupid fight. And then immediately in the next sequence, it's like, oh yeah, you're going to kill Lee finally, but no, you're just going to walk right up to him. He's going to capture you. He's going to beat the crap out of you. Then you're going to have to run after him. You're going to have to chase after him. And it's just like dragging it out. And it was just, it was very, it seemed to me, and this is the other thing, like this is an open world game, or at least supposed to be. And there was a lot of stuff apparently I could have been doing, but honestly, I couldn't stand the main character at all. And the game was very, you know, previous games, they locked off a lot of the world, you know, behind walls that you couldn't get past because your memory wasn't there yet at that particular time. And that was frustrating in the previous games. And then they went and did Brotherhood, where they basically opened the whole thing up except for a few areas, right? And you could go around and do anything you wanted. And this game, it was very, like, it took a long time. I think we had to get to like sequence 4 or 5 even, I think, before the game actually even opened up to let you do anything other than just the main quest. It was like the game was afraid to let you have fun. That's my general feeling of this game. This game was afraid to let you have fun. They really, really, really felt passionate about their narrative, and their narrative was absolutely terrible. It was just the worst. It was not written well at all. But yet that's what they were pushing. They're pushing, oh, you want this narrative, you want this. And it's like, no, I want to actually have fun. And all the fun stuff was just kind of, they pushed it aside, and then suddenly it's like, oh, here, now go hunting, which is not fun. And then it's like, okay, here's some more things. Like here's a homestead to build up. Well, you have to run 9,000 miles to do anything with that. You know, it's like the fast travel was just bad. And, you know, at that point you're like, you don't want to deal with anything because it's like they keep just pushing the story in your face and not letting you go out and have fun. And, you know, it also didn't help that as the game progressed, the controls got worse and worse and worse. Like they were tolerable at the beginning of the game, but then it just got absolutely terrible. Like you just running up things you're not running up, not able, you know, getting stuck, not the character not moving properly, jumping out of cover when you didn't mean to jump out of cover, jumping up on top of boxes when you didn't mean to jump up on top of boxes, you wanted to press yourself up against them, not being able to crouch, which is mind-boggling. Stuff like that. It's just ridiculous. It was almost as if it was never play tested. And then on top of that, I mean, obviously there was a lot of graphical glitches and stuff, and I've made fun of a lot of those because you know, yeah, let's improve. Let's put this in a better engine, and then not, you know, actually fix anything. Let's make sure there's all kinds of bugs in you know, graphical glitches and stuff. But the other thing that, you know, and you know what, I wanted to go and you know, normally I go around and like do stuff. This was the first game to introduce the naval combat and stuff. The naval combat was probably the best controls in the game, but also it was just very, very hard to kind of just to do, because it's a lot of hold this down and then once you let go you fire, which is not the best way of doing things, because a lot of times I'll hold something down just to try to line up a shot, and then if I don't have a shot I don't want to fire, but then you're committed to firing at that point as soon as you let go, and it makes it a little bit rough to work with. And it's my understanding they worked on that combat gets better. The naval combat anyway gets better in 4, which is what I'm kind of driving towards. But then the actual ground combat was just it was horrible. You know, I mean, the combat's always been a little bit janky, but in Brotherhood and Legacy and stuff, it got better. It wasn't perfect, but you felt like a badass. So it was good enough in that you felt like a badass. You could get to chain all these skills together, and it felt generally speaking pretty good. This one, it's like, you know, you get the AI that's just like constantly blocking it. And then if you just use, for some god awful reason, it would constantly reset what my weapons were. So you know, why you would use anything other than the hacksaw, the hatchet, and the rope thing, I don't know. I mean, the rope thing basically stuns your enemy, and the hacksaw can then drive it in their back, and they're dead. So it, like an OP combination, and yet every time you transition somewhere, or even like a cutscene kicks off, it's like suddenly everything's reset, and you know, and then towards the end there, you couldn't even use your weapons. Such a mess. It's just it's a literal mess. They really made a mess of it, and I kind of wonder if the game, the non-remastered version of the game, was as much of a mess as the remastered is, or if a lot of this was introduced by the remastering. I don't know. It's just a freaking mess in many respects of the term. I know that this is the last of Desmond, which kind of sucks, because Desmond was actually a really good character. He had a lot of good stuff going there. I've always liked the Desmond sequences. I know a lot of people kind of love or hate them, take them or leave them. But I've always liked them, and in this game, it was the only shining beacon, honestly, of this game. They had some mini games that were just broken. Like, you just couldn't, I mean, I've demonstrated that on camera. They were just broken. You couldn't do anything with them. And the they had a lot of this sort of carrot on the stick stuff. First of all, the hunting thing. We gotta make a mention of this hunting thing. This is an honorable mention, or I should say a dishonorable mention. You know, I'm running across. I had no choice but to run across the frontier to get to that one mission a few hours ago, and I'm running across there, and I'm getting attacked by wolves because the game is just dumb like that, right? And so I'm killing them and just running along, and then all of a sudden it's like the game starts yelling at you, like, "Oh, you got to skin these. You're not allowed to not skin these." You know, Connor never left kills unskinned. I'm like, that is the stupidest thing ever. The dumbest thing. It was like, yeah, you're gonna get attacked by 20 wolves, and you gotta sit there and skin every freaking one of them. You can't just let them go, or we're gonna desync you. Like, that is the dumbest thing in the world. And some of the optional side things were freaking stupid. Like, don't touch the ground, don't touch the water. Like, come on. Like, you gotta do better than that. There had to be. I cannot believe that there wasn't a meeting during the design process where someone stood up and was like, guys, these missions, these optional objectives, they really suck. Like, they're pretty stupid. Like, to the point where a lot of them you can't even do because our AI is just horrible. You know, it's like, I don't, it boggles my mind. It really does. It really, really does. It is my understanding now that this is the worst in the series from a lot of fans of Assassin's Creed. I hope that's true, because if it gets any worse than this, I don't think I'm going to make it. I really don't. This was a literal point. If you're watching the recordings of this and you're going, man, I don't think he likes this game. You're absolutely right. This was the worst. This was me. You know quite well that I love to go around and do side quests, and I love to go do all the side stuff and all the missions. Even if I don't record them, even if I do them off camera, I like to do them. And the fact that I went through this game without going into any forts, without taking down any Templar things, barely grabbing any side things, didn't grab any trinkets or anything like that. Like, that's got to be a resounding, negative. That just shows you how much this game, how much I did not like this game. And I only went through it because I wanted to. I set out to go through all the Assassin's Creed games, regardless of how good or bad they are, and. You know, I knew that there would be a point where I'd have to suffer through one or two that are pretty bad. And this is so far been the worst. It really has. There's DLC that I'm not even going to bother with. However, as part of the remastering, they did make an HD version of Liberation, Assassin's Creed Liberation, which was, I think, originally only a PSP game, and then it eventually came out on PC as this remastered thing. I will delve into Liberation. Liberation will be the next one I do, because technically, year-wise, it was the next one that came out, because I think it's in the same engine. I hope it's better. I don't know. I don't know anything about Liberation. I haven't heard anyone even who's a fan of Assassin's Creed even talk about Liberation. So I don't know what I'm getting into. In fact, I have a list of. I've been following there's an article out there that had all the Assassin's Creed games listed in the order they were released. And I've been following that list, and Liberation is not even on that list. So, this is going to be interesting. From what I remember, it wasn't even on that list. So I'm going to delve into it. We'll see what we see. I'm not sure what I'm going to... I don't even know who the protagonist of it is. It might be Connor again, which will be the worst, but maybe it's a different protagonist. I don't know. But I'm going to take a look at it. I'm going to delve through it. Worst case scenario, it'll be just like Assassin's Creed 3 here, where I'm just going to go through the main story and be done with it. Best case scenario, we'll actually spend some time in it and do some side things. I'll give it as fair a shake as I can, but I mean, right now it would not be difficult for it to be better than Assassin's Creed 3. That's for sure. So I'm definitely not doing the Tyranny of King George Washington, whatever, DLC. The hell with that nonsense. That's another thing too. Like, the game early on, the game found the weirdest ways to desync you. Like early on when we were first going through that fort or whatever it was, and unbeknownst to me, George Washington was there, and I went and murdered him, and the game's like, nope, you can't do that. You murdered George Washington. I'm like, hey, why did you even put him here? Like, why is this a thing? Like, the game just does some mind-boggling stuff that I don't get what their thought process was. I really, really don't. Like, why would you, like, you're in the middle, and the worst part of it is it pulls you completely out of the story. Like, you know what I mean? You know, you're starting to get immersed in it, just completely destroys it, because then it resets you back like 5-10 minutes or whatever. You know, it's like, what were they thinking? I don't know what they were thinking when they did this. I really don't. I realized that they were probably trying some things and trying some new things, and that's fine and well, but what is here is just a hot mess. Like, it's just, they just threw a whole bunch of things into a blender, put a terrible protagonist in there, and then said, deal with it. You know, and it's like, And it was a very, like, rich world that they could have really done some things in, you know, really made some impact and stuff, and made it really interesting. And they went for the most ham-fisted, cookie cutter, you know, motivational, everyone's motivations are just bland. You know, it was bad. And you know, they were trying to sort of compare and contrast between Desmond's relationship with his father and, you know, Connor's relationship with his father, but it just falls flat, the whole thing. It's bad. So yeah, I mean, that's what I got so far, friends. That's what I got for it. I know I'm sure there are people who do like this game in the series. And I appreciate that. There was very little here that I could really find interesting. Like I said, the most interesting part for me was being outside the Animus. Like, that was fun. Like, the maps that they came up with, you know, like I said, like running through the UFC ring and all that stuff, like, were phenomenal. Those maps were just absolutely top notch. I felt like I was running through, like, free running through Mirror's Edge, you know. And then, you know, they have those beautiful maps, and then you get back into the Animus, and everything is just beyond bland. It's just as straight and narrow as you could possibly be. There was no real creativity put into any of that stuff. And then every 5 minutes you're in a chase down. It's like they love their chase sequences. Let's have a chase sequence. Let's have another chase sequence. I think they were trying to be like Uncharted. The problem was Uncharted had really good characters, and this game didn't. You know what I mean? That's the big thing. And beyond that, Uncharted also, the Uncharted series, when you had chase sequences into that, they were cinematic. They were like very bombastic. The chase sequences in this were like, chase these guys on horse. Oh, but don't hit the ground. Don't touch the ground. You know, chase these guys across the docks here, but don't go in the water. Yeah, it's like this, you know, just screw you. It's what I say to that. That's the only word I can come up with is screw you on that. So that's my rant. That's me getting all that off my chest. Whilst the credits run here. I don't know how long the credits. I mean, given how long they drug out the story in this game, I can only imagine how long they're going to drag the credits out for. But we're in it. We're in it till the end here, friends. But yeah, I've been dreading this because I know that a lot of people who are fans of the series or big fans of the series are like, Assassin's Creed 3. I now see what they mean. I really do see it. That said, I'm glad it's behind me. I don't know if there's any others coming up in the pipeline that people don't really like. I get the feeling, I think Unity is like some like, some don't. I think it was like a lukewarm thing, from what I understand. But I've never played it, so we're going to find out one way or the other. I know 4, which is what we're steadily approaching, was beloved by most people. I believe Origins a lot of people liked too. Like I think a lot of people really liked Origins. And the newest one, Valhalla, has been getting pretty good reviews, although a lot of people have said that it's just very, very, very long. But we're nowhere near that yet. We got a long way to build up to that. I'm sure there's a lot of other ones that I've missed in the middle. I feel like there was Origins. Oh, Odyssey was the other one. I think, was it Origins that people really liked, or was it Odyssey that people liked? I think people really liked Origins, and it was Odyssey that people were like, nah, that wasn't really that great. But yeah, Unity, all those things. So we'll see. We'll see as we get there. Like I said, I'm looking forward to. We'll go through Liberation, and then I'm assuming there's no game-breaking bugs like I can't control anything or whatever. And then I think that we'll probably finish that Liberation. That is, I imagine I'll finish that by the end of the year. And then maybe early in 2021, we'll start Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, which if it's as good as everyone says, and I've seen a few bits and bobs here and there that look pretty good, I will take my time with that. I'll still do a lot off camera, but I'll take my time with what we've got there, if that ends up being the case. So yeah, that's about all. I've talked as long as I can, I think, for all these credits. We're getting to legal notices and stuff though, so maybe we're wrapping up here. But anyway, for those who will be watching the recording, thanks so much for watching. And despite all my belly aching, and I will hope to see you again in another in the next series. Let's say that.